Hello, welcome back to Azure Site Recovery series. I am so glad you are here for this important part of the journey. Today we are talking about protection container mapping, the step where all the pieces we have built so far come together. This is where we link the source and recovery environments, ensuring that your workloads are replicated seamlessly during failover and returned during failback. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to create mapping for both the directions, failover and failback, and why they are critical for a complete disaster recovery setup. So let's get started. First, let's understand what protection container mapping actually is. This is essential a connection between your source and recovery environments. Think of it as a bridge that allow resources in your primary region to replicate to the recovery region and back again if needed. The key feature of the protection container mapping, the source to target association. This links a container in your primary region to one in your recovery region, ensuring that workloads are replicated properly. The replication configuration. The mapping applies the replication policy we created earlier during how often data is replicated and retained. Integration with the network mapping. This works alongside network mapping to ensure your virtual machines connect to the right networks during failover. Now let's jump into the step-by-step process of creating the mapping using PowerShell. We will start by creating a mapping from the primary protection container to the recovery protection containers. This ensures resources in primary environment replicate to recovery regions based on the rules defined in the replication policy. So let me run the lines step by step and I will explain the each step. Let me break it down so it will be easier to read. Now let me run this. So what it is doing right now, let me explain. So we are going to use new-az recovery services ASR protection container mapping. So we are going to use name as a to A primary to recovery, the policy that we created previously, which already have the data. So let me run this variable and we can see what it has here. As you can see, it has the policy name and ID and a few other stuff. Now it is using the primary protection container details here. So let me run this as well. So we'll get to know. So same thing here. It has the name of the primary protection container, what we created earlier in our previous parts, the ID and the fabric friendly name and fabric type and all those stuff. Same thing we will get here with the DR protection container. Okay. So as you can see, the first we run this new -az recovery services protection container mapping command that is completed. Let me run this loop. So by that way, we will get to know that the job is succeeded or not. So I already explained this thing in a part 3, but let me explain it again if you are new for this video. So if you can see, we are using the simple while loop here. Simple while loop, what it is doing, it is tracking the state of this job by using dot state, and it has the condition like it will check for the state in progress or not started. So once the job state change or no longer in progress or not started, then it will break the loop and then it will move for the next step. How it is doing, you can see here, it is pausing for a 10-second using start sleep command, and then it will check for the get AZ status recovery ASR job, and it will check the job state. So once the job state no longer in progress or not started, then it will break the loop. So this is how it is working. So let's wait for a few minutes. Once the job status get changed to succeeded or failed, we will get to know. In the meantime, I'm going to skip this part. It may take few more minutes to complete that job. So once the job will get completed, we'll continue further. Now As you can see, the job status is no longer in progress or not started. How I get to know? Let me run this and we will get to know the status of the job. The state of the job, you can see here, it's succeeded. So that's why there's break the loop, and we can now able to run the next step. So next step is, if it is checking the state of the job, if it is not is equal to succeeded, then it will throw the alert on the screen. But in our scenario, it's succeeded. So this condition will not fulfill and it will skip this one. Now let me run this get Azure Site Recovery protection container mapping command. So what it will do, it will verifies that the protection container mapping is created or not. So let me run this variable so you can see it's created. This is the ID and this is the health and there are many other things, and you can see the friendly name of the source container and the target container. Okay, let's move to the next step. What we are going to do here, what exactly we did for the above, but now we are going to do it reverse mapping. So what we are going to do, let me break it here and explain. As you can see, we are going to use the name of this is A2A recovery to primary. Previously, what we use is A2A primary to recovery. So we are going to reverse it. And the policy, we are going to use the same one. And now you can see that the change is here. The primary protection container is now DR protection container, and the recovery protection container is PR protection container. Okay. So why we need to create this one? Because in case of the disaster, if we need to set up the replication from recovery to primary, at that point, this will be helpful. So let me run this. Now let me run the loop for this job. It will take few minutes to complete. While this loop is running, I can show you what exactly job will look like on the portal. So let me quickly open the portal. Allow me a minute. Okay. So let me click on the site recovery jobs. So I can see here, it is this is the job. The associate replication policy is the name of the job. We can see the job details on the portal as well. So it is saying that preparing for the configuration protection. So this is how this job looks like. You can see all the jobs that you have ran previously and the duration and further details. I can see that the job is still running. So I will skip this part and will connect once the job is completed. The job is completed. Let me run this, and this is doing the same thing what it did for the previous step for primary to recovery region. And let me use this so you can see the same detail, but the source fabric you can see here is central US, and the target fabric you can see here is East US. So it's reverse now. So in this video, we created the protection container mapping for both failover and failback scenarios. These mappings connects the primary and recovery regions and ensures your workloads replicate seamlessly in both the direction. In the next video, we will configure network mappings and set up the required storage accounts for cache and replication target. These steps ensure that your virtual machines connect to the correct network during failover. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next part of the Azure Site Recovery. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.